We're drafting. We're drafting tonight on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, and we're trying Hero RB. But before we do that, we're going to kick off about 10 to 15 minutes of conversation around how to dominate using Hero RB, Hero running back, when to use it. Is it something you can use every time? No. Is it something that is dictated by best player available opening up said door? Yes. You don't just implement something over and over and over. You don't just cement something and walk into your draft and say, I'm drafting wide receiver in round one. That's about the dumbest way to draft in fantasy football, period. I'm going to go RB. That's plain stupidity. Fantasy football, every time you're on the clock, you need to ask yourself, who is the best pick available right here? You need to learn how to master these techniques of Hero RB, Zero RB, Robust RB, Kelsey round one. That video is coming tomorrow. Kelsey in round one, how to dominate with Kelsey in round one this year. But every single one of these approaches and draft strategies require you to adjust and adapt and abort said strategy if you see a door open and Jahmyr Gibbs is sitting there at 3.7 and you're going, I'm supposed to go wide receiver here. Then you're taking laps and you're going to end up ruining your entire chances of winning your league. Let's break into it. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in. Promo code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. That link is being dropped in the live chat right now, and I'll pin that bad boy in 1 second. And let's get to drafting, ladies and gentlemen. File on in. Hit that like button.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, Hero RB is pretty interesting, and there's so many ways to dominate with it. I mean, it's a very, very easy strategy to deploy. There's really no rules or set rules to how far into your draft you take the approach of neglecting RB after you've consumed one. But let me real briefly explain what Hero RB is. Hero RB. Hero RB is where you take one RB essentially, and there's different definitions and rules to it, but my way is to take one RB anywhere in the beginning part of your draft and ignore the running back position for quite a while. And again, aborting said strategy until you see an opportunity to strike. Now, this doesn't have to be something where, and I'm gonna take this away for a second, this underdog. We're gonna draft in a second, so hit that link in the live chat. Let me pin the link right now for you guys. Again, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. We'll be drafting here very, very shortly. So get ready for that. I'm going to pin that link right this very second. For anybody watching a replay of this video, the link is in the description of every video. So click that link. But getting back to the topic here, what is Hero RB? It is essentially you're sitting here and let's say you take Bijan at number 5 or 6 overall. The thinking is you're going to go into round 2 not drafting a running back. You're going to go into round 3 not drafting a running back. You're going to go into round 4 not drafting a running back. There's no specific rule as to when you re-enter the running back space, but Hero RBs, you're attaching to one hero, or you could also say you're going for heroes deep in your draft. You're trying to find these deep heroes like Pacheco and Swift and Kamara, and you're going to compile all those, but you're attaching yourself, you're anchoring yourself to one hero running back that's going to save the day, and find other hidden gem heroes in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, or 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds, or whatever the case may be. Now, this is not a restrictive technique to just the round 1 usage of the RB slot. Like you could, in a sense, let's put Tony Pollard on in the round 2 area. Let's see. Let me grab my Tony Pollard graphic. Where are you, Tony? Tony? Or Barkley. We could use Barkley real quick. Let me see if I can grab Barkley. I don't have any of these graphics ready, do I? Okay, let's go over the Moon Man list and grab the Mars Man list and grab Tony Pollard.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
What a good looking list, by the way.
Man.
It's always an excuse to go look at the Mars Man list.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
What a beautiful list. St. Brown, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Tony Pollard. We got Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Bijan Robinson, Olave, Fields. This is the best looking list I've seen in quite some time, I must add. Okay, here's Tony Pollard. I grabbed him from that list. Tony Pollard, let's call Tony Pollard a 2.3. Like, I'd take him at 1.11. I'd take him at 1.10. I'd take him at 1.12. Definitely at the 1-2 turn. I have no problem doing that. But let's say you go Jamar Chase at the top of round 1. Okay, let's say you go Jamar Chase at the top of round 1. I got to grab that graphic too.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
All right. So you're grabbing Jamar Chase in round 1. You're thinking about going hero RB. And you can't possibly know if you're going to pull it off until you get to the second round pick, right? What if Pollard's gone? What if you're sitting there and you're like, I got to take St. Brown. He's sitting here. So you're going to go 0 RB at that point. And you might not even continue that because you might take Gibbs in round 3, which I'll go over 0 RB in a bit. But this right here is where you say to yourself, okay, Jamar Chase, I got him at 1. Can I go hero RB? Will best player available open this door for me? You get there, Pollard falls. Okay, you took Chase at let's say Chase was there at 3. Pollard was there. I doubt he's going to fall this late, but my example would be this is your anchor RB, and now you go Ridley in round 3, and then you go potentially Justin Fields. Where's Fields at? You could go Fields in the there's Pollard right there. He's hiding right there behind that group of monsters right there. Where's my Justin Fields graphic when you need it? So like this would be an unbelievable team. Now Pollard's not lasting this far probably. He could. I doubt it. This would be more of an example of, let's say you have a top of or a bottom of round 1 draft selection. Let's make this a little more realistic. So let's say St. Brown here at 10 overall, Pollard here 2-3 picks into the top of round 2 makes more sense for where Pollard could fall. And then you grab Ridley here at the same location here in the 3rd round and Fields right here. This would be a pretty darn good team. I think everybody in here, you'd have to be absolutely off your rocker if you don't see this as a team that could absolutely just rip through your league mates. Can I get a thumb up or a thumb down on this squad? This would be really, really, really good hero RB approach through 4 rounds. And then what I traditionally do is I'm obviously going best player available. If Breece Hall is falling to this pick, which he did on Underdog Fantasy for me earlier tonight, I did a draft. I had people telling me Breece Hall's not falling, Smitty. Breece Hall's not falling, Smitty. How in the hell are you getting Breece Hall? I saw him going around 3. I did a draft tonight. Breece Hall fell to about 5.4 or 5.5. So it's certainly possible. And I'm getting reports all over the place that Breece Hall is going in round 6. And Pollard's not falling to the end of round 2. That's why I did this young. That's why I switched it up and went the Amon-Ra route. This is a more realistic approach of Pollard, as I said. But Breece Hall. Let's say you get Breece Hall. Don't know if you're going to get him at the bottom around 5, but you can. I've seen it over and over. You get Pacheco. This would be phenomenal. Maybe you go ahead and say to yourself, I'm going to go Swifty. Okay, I'm going to go Swifty and Pacheco. Maybe you don't go double RB here. Maybe you go wide receiver in RB. But this is hero RB. This is a great way to smash hero RB out of the park. Breece Hall fell into the 6th round on ESPN, says Tyler. I just think people are going to see it differently. They're going to see different values for Breece Hall right now. So just keep that in mind as you say it's not going to happen. Okay, we had 2 reports right here, 2 different people. Smitty, Breece Hall is going to fall to the 6th round on Underdog eventually. Everybody here is reporting different things, and I think 5-6 is definitely where you're going to see him go. So this right here is a smash. Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this approach? Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me if you like this. Tell me if you think you would deploy the 0 RB approach in your draft. And let's go back to a Bijan approach, okay? So Bijan Robinson, 0 RB, I'm sorry, hero RB, would put you in a position where you're drafting him probably, let's say you get him at 7 or 8. I don't think you're going to get St. Brown in that case. So maybe we find Chris Olave where Chris Olave is hiding. So Chris Olave becomes your, we'll call it middle of round 2 hero RB approach. So you take Bijan at 6, you take Olave in the middle of 2, and you're sitting here going, okay, I can go Ridley here, I can go Fields here, or potentially where's my boy Walker when I need him? Walker, where you at? Where's he at? There he is. I see him. Move over. Part the C for Walker. Move over. Walker in the back. Please step forward. Walker in 4 would be fantastic. I like him at 5, but you take him at 4, not a problem. Law Dog. I just saw Law Dog a minute ago. Law Dog, there he is. Let's go Law Dog in round number 5. Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on if you would smash the hell out of this strategy? I'll put both these guys here because you might take one or the other. I'll leave it up to you so you have a preference here so you don't feel forced into this. Who here is smashing out of this hero RB approach where you abort in round 4 and you say, I'm taking Walker? Because this is a version of it. It's a version of it. There's no set in stone. You gotta follow through if you start it. Like you're gonna get penalized because you decided to take a sidestep and take Walker who's sitting there, or you end up telling yourself, I'm going hero RB. I'm going hero RB. Smitty, I'm gonna do it no matter what. I'm taking Fields here. I'm doing it no matter what. Hero RB is for me. Let me put T-Law down here, and then you get over to. Let me see if I can find. I got too many names on here. I have them all over the place. Here he is. You land in the 3rd round, and Gibbs is sitting there, and you're like, goodness gracious, man! I wanted to try the hero RB. I wanted to follow through, but I'm gonna abort said mission. Panic ensuing because I've got anxiety because I'm sitting here staring at a man that I need to draft. I'm hitting the panic button.
Alert! Panic mode initiated.
Don't force any strategy. Let best player available reopen doors you thought were closed. Let best player available self-correct your plan of attack. If you're sitting here trying to deploy something and Gibbs is sitting there, you don't get crafty, you get smart. Okay, smarten up, be disciplined, and deploy the best strategy you can. This is hero RB, ladies and gentlemen. This is hero RB. Let me hear what you guys think. Pacheco and Swift aren't round 6 guys. Why not, Ben? Why not? Enlighten me again, Ben. Why they're not 6th round guys? They absolutely are worth 6th round picks in 2023. What are you talking about? Swift all the time falls into these 2 territories right here. Pacheco, and if you're saying they're later, then that's even better. If they fall, depending on where you're drafting. Okay, let's get into a draft. Everybody hit that link. Link is in the live chat pinned. The link is in the description of every video. Let's roll. Let's roll on over to Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, and let me pull this up right here, and we'll get straight into it. We'll get straight into it. All right, so you're going to click on Puppy 3. That's this card right here. I'm not going to hit it yet. Click on Puppy 3, and then you're going to hit this green enter button. Do it now. It's $5 an entry. The prizes are right down below. I'm going to hit the button now. There's a little bit of a YouTube delay. Okay. Jump into said draft. Do it live. 6 more to start. Let's ride. Young in the building. What's up, Young? Swift falls to 9. Sometimes they fall. Sometimes they don't. I mean, I've drafted Pacheco in the 7th round before, the 6th, 7th round before. It just depends on the flow of draft. No one's asking you to take a guy you can let fall. Like, use common sense with it. Hero running back. You only draft one running back in the early rounds. Correct. You can't abort it. No one's forcing you. No one's forcing you. Draft starts in 25 seconds. Rock out's in here. Appreciate your rock out. Big Dog's in the building. Your boy's in the 6th spot. Fresh. Dog's in here. I don't know who that is. Ben, Hellrat. Okay, let's ride. Let's rock and roll. Let's go to board view. I'm drafted from the 6th pick. Rock out's on the clock. Let's go. Let's go. And if you didn't get in, don't fret. Just jump in one alongside and deploy said strategy. Logan, don't worry about it. Jump into the one right next to it. Sometimes it's better. And not to mention, you're going to have about 4 or 5 people that are going to be in that with you because they missed too. 4 picks left until I'm on the clock. Jamar Chase went number 1. JJ goes number 2. Peyton takes Christian McCaffrey. Who's that? I do this takes Travis Kelce. Big Dog Stark in the 5 hole. Tyreek Hill. That leaves me Mr. Bijan Robinson, which I'm not going to hesitate on. Give me the Bijan, baby. I'm going to get these super chats, then we'll open the phone lines in a second. Avi dropping a super chat, says DJ Moore or Christian Watson. Tough question. Tony Pollard, top 5 running back. Christian Watson, DJ Moore. I'd probably go Christian Watson, but I love both of them. But I'm drafting Christian Watson before I'm drafting DJ Moore. Plus, you have a little bit better chance of getting both if you go Watson first, if you were trying to get both, or if you're interested in getting both. Charles T dropping a $5 holler, says, hey, Smitty, I'm picking 4th in a 10-team, 0.5 PPR. How would you go 0 RB from the 4 spot? Kelce. That would be the best way, unless Chase or JJ fell, and they're not likely going to fall. Kelce. Kelce's a smash. You could try it with Tyreek Hill if you wanted. I'd rather just trade down and get, like I said, more draft capital somewhere and get Garrett Wilson, get St. Brown versus using a 4 pick on Tyreek Hill. So that would be my advice. Trade down. If it's a best ball draft, you can't trade down, etc., then you go Travis Kelce. Pretty likely to have him there at 4. We got a $20 hauler from Pierce dropping wads on the screen. Look at Pierce go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My man Pierce saying, super chat alert. Super chat alert. Pierce to the moon. Pierce to the absolute moon. Golf's in the building. Golf, appreciate you being here, buddy. All right, so after Bijan, I went Kupp, Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Austin Eckler, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Nick Chubb, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a nice slippage. Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra is fantastic, bro. Absolute straight fire. Love it. Amazing. Let's go. Let's go. Amazing, bro. Okay, Barkley. Barkley fell. Barkley fall. He's all over the place. Barkley's in the first round on Sleeper. He's on, I don't know where he is on ESPN. And on Underdog, he's like between 13 and 15. You know, something like that. I love when Waddle gets taken ahead of. So I got Bijan already. I'm going to go Olave here. So I got Bijan and Olave. Marsman, baby. What's up, Jerry? All right, phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah. Come on, man. You know the thing. You know the thing. The thing, crack shot. The thing. Denny does that a lot. Where's Denny, by the way? Denny hasn't called in like a week and a half. We're trying Hero RB out potentially. I'm gonna try to do Hero RB tonight, but again, I'm going to show you adjusting and adapting. I'm going to prove to you that it is possible to change directions if you go in and see something unfold that you should be recognizing. What's up, Avi?
Yo, what's up? How we doing? We chilling?
We're doing good, bro.
I'm just here. I love your strategy for a no RB. I think it's perfect. Get Ridley, Justin Jefferson, Justin Fields. You can't go wrong with those two guys. So
You most certainly cannot.
I think Tony Pollard. I totally get the hype around him. I think he's going to explode in that offense. I don't think you can make it. He's my RB4, I think, behind Barkley, Bijan, and CMC. So
I'm ahead of Barkley. I'm ahead of Barkley. I don't blame anybody for having Barkley in their top 4 or 5. I don't. He's a phenomenal player. And I guess the only thing that would have me hold Barkley back is that there's just that vulturing touchdown situation that, may get better this year. May get with Waller there, maybe things, change a lot. Yeah. But I just think that's the one thing. Pollard was number 1 in the NFL last year in yards after contact. Okay, hold on. So I'm on the clock here. Josh Allen fell pretty far. I like waiting on I like waiting on a QB, but good God, the middle of the 3rd round. Let's see here. Hold on.
Bill's getting overhyped. I don't like Josh Allen.
I'm going Josh Allen. That's a great value. I'm still on my track. I'm still on my track of Hero RB. I got 1 running back. I got Chris Olave, and now I got Josh Allen. Which part of me feels like I could regret that. I could regret it. I could regret it if I don't think the quarterbacks will fall in this draft, though, because this is a very quarterback early hungry community. And if I wasn't drafting with all you sharks out there, I think I would have pushed it, and I would have let Burrow or Fields fall to my next draft slot. I would have pushed it, but because I know Burrow's going to be gone, Fields is going to be gone. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the chance. The Josh Allen in the mid-3rd round's ridiculous value. That's so ridiculous.
No, it is, but I want my boy Justin Fields this year. I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs over Josh Allen.
Well, Gibbs is gone. Gibbs is gone. I didn't like all these options here.
Oh yeah.
So what's Jay Term doing taking Breece Hall? This is why Breece Hall's value is all over the map, because you do see people take him in the 3rd round like this, and so it's hard to know. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Term, for loving him, but you gotta let him fall. You gotta let him fall to the 4th round at least, or just let him go, because that's the dice roll you need to make. You can't go in and taking a guy that's got 4th and 5th round ADP in the 3rd round. In my opinion, you should have waited and rolled the dice. And if he goes, he goes. That's the whole. You're gonna take a dice roll at it, bro. You're gonna take a dice roll at it. Denny Spalding in the building, dropping a $2 holler. I knew you were there, Denny. I knew you're there. Call in. Phone line's open, Denny. Denny dropping yet another super chat. Hold on 1 second, Avi. Okay, Christian Watson, Keenan Allen, Najee Harris. There goes Justin Fields, so I wouldn't have got him. We'll see if I would have got Burrow. If I would have got Burrow, then maybe there's some regret, maybe not. Maybe I love the player that's available, and apples to apples, I'm at least even Steven. So we'll have to see. Uncle Ted says A-Chain 100 is Chris Johnson 2.0. He's very, very decent, and there's a lot of upside. I agree. I don't know how I feel about. Let's see. Did Joe Burrow already go? No, he didn't. Okay, let's see. Joe Burrow fell. Okay, let's see if I made a mistake. I love DJ Moore here. I'm fine with that. London's here. Burrow's there. Let's see here.
Burrow.
No, I already have Josh Allen. Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
I'm tempted to go. Let's go DJ Moore. Let's try it out. So Bijan, Chris Olave, Josh Allen, DJ Moore. I'm truly implementing hero RB. I don't think I'm forcing it at all. Best player available has opened the door up. I think it's a really good start so far. I would have loved for ETN to fall. I would have gladly gone RB there if ETN fell. Reverse engineering it. I don't know that I made any sort of mistake because honestly, I wouldn't take Josh Jacobs, wouldn't take Amari Cooper, wouldn't take Breece Hall because he should have fallen. Lamar Jackson, no, it's quarterback. Ramondre, I don't like Ramondre right now. Not in the third round. I'd take him in the fourth, but I wouldn't take him in the third. Debo was tempting. If I would have went Debo and Burrow, would have liked it better than Josh Allen and DJ Moore. Maybe. I think it's very comparable, so I don't think there's any missteps being made there. I would never pass on Jahmyr Gibbs for Josh Allen on the chance I'm probably getting Fields or Burrow with the fourth round pick. So I don't think there's any sort of misstep there. I like it. I think it feels good. I've got the RB or the wide receiver room building up here. Eckler, Chubb, Herbert in mine is what Logan said. He has Eckler, Chubb, DJ Moore, Herbert so far in his draft. That's great, bro. Nice job. And then Christopher says, if you have the 2 spot in multiple drafts, would you draft the same player or mix it up? I'd mix it up because I like multiple players. I would not force the mix up. If there was one player and I wasn't behind any other players, I will put all my eggs in one basket. But because I love JJ, because I love Jamar Chase, because I love Kelsey, because I love Bijan, I would literally, if I had 4 separate drafts, I'd have no problem drafting one in each of those drafts. So don't feel like you can't mix things up. Let me see here. Hold on, I'm almost on the clock. Burrow is still there. This is crazy.
I'm glad Cooper Kupp fell. That's good. He should not be going first round. But
This makes me want to go double quarterback. Burrow's still there.
Who's the best?
Or did Burrow go?
DeAndre Hopkins not
Burrow
bad.
Burrow went. Okay,
Hopkins
hold on.
isn't terrible, but
Hold on a second, Ami. Okay, let me see. I like JSN here. I'm going to go JSN here. I'm going to continue on the zero RB approach. Or the hero RB approach.
So, you know how you say Bijan over CMC? And look, CMC is my boy. I think CMC is the most talented RB, best RB in football, not even close. But Elijah Mitchell, like, how much if he's healthy, like, he creeped into CMC's workload. I'm not worried about CMC's talent or nothing. It's just like, I feel like he's on. I could see why you're saying Bijan RB1. Like, I totally get it. But just CMC's my boy.
Well, I think number one.
Like,
Wait, Burrow was still there.
when CMC
He was there.
when CMC plays, he's the best player in fantasy. Like, points per game, not even close. But
but you can't.
Mitchell played.
Yeah, you just can't assume though everything's going to be a repeat from last year. But the thing about it, I thought Burrow had gone, and then I just had to scroll down or whatever. But I'm glad I didn't necessarily force it. It would have been an interesting potential try at the double QB. But I like JSN there. That's not bad. JSN's creeping up really high. I mean, to have to take JSN in the middle of the 5th round, I don't hate it because I like him a lot, but it certainly isn't the value it used to be. That sucks. But as for Mitchell and CMC, I don't know, bro. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. If Christian McCaffrey gets enough work to be the number 1 by far, best total, best points per touch, best points per game type of guy, he's probably going to get hurt. And if they ease him back and they use him between the 20s and take him out and put Mitchell in there when they're inside the 20-yard line in the red zone, then all of a sudden a lot of hogging goes on, vulturing goes on, and then CMC loses a lot of his points. So, but that keeps him healthy. So the honest truth is, I feel like, would I take CMC in a league? Yeah, I would. But would I take him? Would I take Bijan in 2 or 3 out of 4 leagues? Absolutely. Would I take CMC in 3 out of 4 leagues? No. I've taken him at 1. I want to own him. I like him a lot, but I'm not forcing CMC. And I think everybody's forgetting how much they feared him playing a full season ever again before last season. Now everybody's just completely like writing him in as a guaranteed 17-game guy. And it's like, come on. Like, we went through this, and we all know how risky he is.
You got to trust CMC. Just like he's done it like so much in his career. He's had 2 unlucky injuries, I think. But I think the thing for CMC, he needs to get catches more this year. He needs to out the slot. That's going to be where he's going to make the difference. I think not running up the tackles as much this year. More of a receiver role. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
What do I do here? Let me try the double QB here with T-Law. Because there's a lot of players I liked, but I'm going to wait. So I'm going to go. So Bijan, Chris Olave, Josh Allen, DJ Moore, JSN, Trevor Lawrence.
Swift is a dude. Javonte Williams is coming. We on the Javonte train.
Yeah,
let's do it.
There's a lot of good talent left here as we're in this 5, 6, 7. This is the territory where you want to maybe get back into the RBs. You can wait around. It depends on the tournament. As I was saying earlier, Pacheco could go 6, 7. He could go 7, 8. In some of the drafts, these guys have gone higher. Swift was going high. Swift was in the middle of the 6th round in another tournament. I know in weeklies, a lot of the player values are so different. Like a Conquo, if you're in weeklies, a Conquo is like so far down on the weeklies tight end rankings for some reason. Whereas in like a normal tournament, him and Kincaid are like really close, and a Conquo is higher. So it just depends, but there should be some value coming around the board here. But Jahan Dotson went number 6. That's a really, in the 6th round. At the end of 6th round, that's a really good pick. Javonte just went at 7.1. Jordan Addison. My team so far again is Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. I decided to go double QB with the optimal scoring. What's up, Grant from Cali? You're live, pal.
Hey, Smitty, how are you?
I'm good, bro.
Good. Look, I just finished my PPR 10-man league with the keeper. Can I read out? I'm going to read you my roster real quick. I think you'd be somewhat proud. I'm a little hesitant on some picks. But quarterback, Justin Herbert. 2 running backs, Rashad White, Brian Robinson Jr., Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall, George Pickens, Michael Thomas, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Monte Brown. And that's about it. And Charbonnet.
I like it, bro.
Not bad. I mean, should I be? I'm a little worried about Rashad White. I mean, how high are you on him? I mean, I know for my bench, I went with a lot of your moon men, obviously. Smitty knows best. But in regards to Rashad White, like, how do you feel about him kind of being almost like my second go-to running back?
I don't like Rashad White as much as I did last year, and it's not because of talent. It's just because of the situation. But I will say Baker did look pretty good. And look, you can't take preseason too seriously. You can, like I always say, use it to help confirm something you're really leaning toward. And I was not leaning toward Baker looking good, so it's not going to change my mind. It's just going to make me say, all right, maybe I give him another look or whatever. But I'm not in any sort of fantasy football way. Just can he get the football into Mike Evans's hands? Can he get the football into Godwin's hands? Can they move the football down the field enough so they're not 3 and out? And can they get near the red zone so that Rashad White can sniff 8 total touchdowns? Like, that's what it's all about. If Rashad White can't score more than 3 or 4 touchdowns and they're never sniffing the red zone, and he's facing tough defensive schemes and he's just going to get hurt. So,
right. I thought that, I mean, just for the sake of, I know you're high on the Breece Hall, rocket ship, but I mean, Breece Hall has fallen all the way down to I got him on, I'll tell you right now, I got him on the 80th pick, so he's flipping in a lot of leagues, especially on ESPN, just because
he is in some. As we're talking earlier, I know everybody likes to have these absolutes, like Pacheco's going in the 8th or whatever round. Pacheco went in the middle of 7. I took Swift at 78, and it wasn't far off at all from where his ADP was.
Right.
Breece Hall is going in round 3, Smitty. You're wrong. He's not going around 3. He's going around 3, 4, 5. He is. I've had someone report that they drafted him in round 6, and I trust this person. They're not just, lying. So,
I got him in round.
Yeah,
I got him in round 8. Yeah.
And that's crazy good. That's crazy good.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know how that happened. I don't even know how did that even happen? That's what it's crazy. It's all over the map.
I got Christian Watson in the 6th round at the 60th pick. I got Breece Hall, George Pickens. I got Christian Watson, Breece Hall, and George Pickens back to picks.
Yeah.
And this is like a real friend league. I mean, these guys play football, all this stuff. This is not like these are not like baseball guys. Like these guys, they do some football. Some played in college and everything. So I was shocked too. A lot of these players are just not apparently highly rated. Really, I guess is what it comes down to. I think a lot of people.
It sounds to me, Breece Hall went in the 80s in your league. You're not playing with this competitive guys. You're claiming though. I mean, come on, bro.
I mean this. I'm just
look,
telling you what I know.
I know, but you know what people say, Grant, and I'm not saying bad toward you, but everybody wants to pretend their league's competitive. Everybody. Hey, no, my league's actually competitive. Right. Because you know what? What does it mean if you beat a bunch of scrubs? It doesn't have as much allure. So,
right. I hear you. Man. I hear you. What are your thoughts on the Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, and Monte Brown? I went with kind of that double decker, but I don't have Garrett Wilson. I wasn't able to get.
What is it? What is it? Say it again. Jamar Chase, who?
Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, and Monte Brown.
I love St. Brown. I love Chase. I'm not huge on Adams.
Because Jimmy G not being able to throw the deep ball.
Jimmy G, the fact that Jimmy G throws hospital balls up in the air so that his receivers end up in the hospital. I had somebody say, Smitty, I think you mean medicine balls. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Jimmy G throws up footballs where the ambulance has to come onto the field and take the receiver off the field. And that's how Adams got hurt. That's how Kittle would get hurt. And he's not throwing the football down the field. Now, could he, as some would say, pepper him with targets to the point where he's a total asset in the reception department and all that? I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. The saving grace for anybody that is banking on Las Vegas Raider players is that O'Connell comes in, and I'm not saying he turns into a Kurt Warner, but you want him to come in and be like, what Herbert was his rookie year. Like, you want him to come in and just be a guy that people are like, holy crap, this guy is a future gunslinger in the National Football League. And he showed enough poise. It was a preseason game. It was against backups against backups. Let's calm down a little. But his mechanics, his precision, his football, the way through it, delivered it. Like, it all was right on par with what you would want out of a breakout, gem type of guy that you stash on the roster, and he turns out like Purdy last year. When Purdy came in, he looked the part. So I very much think O'Connell's got that potential.
And O'Connell, I mean, he was thrown against, a lot of people don't really realize, but he was thrown against Isaiah Oliver, right? Really good nickelback for the 49ers that comes from the Falcons, right? Jameer Woods. There's a lot of like really underperforming or underrated 49er players. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised on in that defensive scheme with Steve Wilkes. But yeah, I was very impressed with O'Connell. I'm a huge 49ers guy, so it was interesting to kind of see him because we seem to get torched by Raider backups, right? Did it to us last year. If you remember that game. And then obviously now with the O'Connell thing in the preseason, I don't know, maybe that's our kryptonite.
Yeah. All right, hang tight real quick, Grant. You can see on the phone. Denny, my boy Denny's on the line. Denny, my man. Where have you been?
What's up, baby boy?
Where you been? When you leave without checking in this long, we worry about you.
Oh man, I appreciate that. We're family.
Yeah.
But I was listening. Is Grant still on the line?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did I just hear him say, Grant? No, these guys are tough guys. They're baseball guys. They're not pushing football. No, I'm telling you, I don't like a Grant. I don't like, and Smitty, you can't let this Grant, don't let him take it for granted. No, these guys are baseball guys. No, they're not.
Hey, Grant. He has a little point that you did
All
kind
right.
of hammer home that these were boys. You're like, these are the boys. These are the boys. They don't mess around. They allow Breece Hall to fall to 80 overall.
No, he said they're baseball guys. No, Smitty, you don't even. He said these guys are baseball guys. They're not football guys.
No,
like
I
you.
said they're not baseball guys. I said not baseball.
He
guys.
said, I think he said they're not. They played football or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
they're not
hey,
baseball.
but can I just say something? Hey, Grant, can I say something though? Grant, there was
Sorry,
kind of a.
Grant, I heard.
All right, hold on.
Grant,
This is like a family fighting here. Grant, don't take this the wrong way. We love you, Grant, okay? But when you said that, I did wonder what in the hell that comment meant, because, like, just because you played football doesn't mean you know anything about, talent evaluation. Just like Michael Jordan knows nothing about drafting an NBA player. Michael Jordan drafted Kwame Brown. So, like, that I did wonder what you meant by that. I'm like, okay, they played football. They're good drafters. They play intramural flag football.
Maybe they're just not Breece Hall guys. How about that?
No, but you can't. Your whole look.
I'm with it.
Your whole league can't be not a Breece Hall guy to pick 80 overall. That's ridiculous. Not you, Grant. You're not ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Look where 80 overall is.
Come on, I've called in 3 days in a row. We've had debates about Jordan Love and Deshaun Watson.
Seventh round, Grant. 7th round. You're telling me that Breece Hall went. Look at 82 overall right here.
Grant, what's your team? Grant, what's your home team? What's your home team? I'm feeling the home team here, big thing.
Okay, here, you want my whole team? Here we go. You ready? It was a keepers league, so I got Jamar Chase, my keeper. So we'll start with my quarterback: Justin Herbert, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Brian Robinson Jr., Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Cole Kmet, Lamont St. Brown.
Your team sucks. Dude, I can't even tell you how much your team sucks. I'm so sorry to tell you that.
All right, Denny. Be somewhat nice, Denny. Okay.
Okay, but it's not the second guy he said. I haven't liked the last 4 guys he said. I'm trying to be nice, but that's
all right. Okay, let me get to my bench. I might redeem myself here with my bench. Okay, you ready?
Your bench? I thought you were already. Okay.
I thought you were already naming your bench. Denny says.
No. Christian Watson, Breece Hall, George Pickens, Michael Thomas.
George, read your starters one more time because I didn't even hear it.
Okay. Justin Herbert. So after the Alvin Kamara suspension, it's going to be Justin Herbert, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Cole Kmet, and Lamont St. Brown.
I mean, it's not a horrible team like Denny's implying, but I do think, again, I'm stuck on the Breece Hall 80th something pick. Like even I'm gonna say, how in the hell did you let him slide past round 7 into round 8? You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, Smitty, because I was listening to you. I knew these people were going to take him.
I never told you to wait till round 8. If he's in round 7, you better pounce on that shit, man. What are you talking about? I would never just keep letting him fall. Breece Hall in round 7. I say Breece Hall in round 5 and 6 wins the league. You let him go into 7, and then you probably barely took him in the 8th. Look, you got Breece Hall. Hold on, you got Breece Hall, and that's amazing. You did a good job. But I would not let him fall into the 7th round ever again.
And then I got George Pickens in the 8th round as well.
In the what round?
8th.
That seems crazy too. He goes in the 7th a lot of the time, but so I could get behind that just happened. Oh. But Breece Hall in round, when we got people telling, look, Breece Hall went in round 3 in this draft, way too early. I don't know why you would do that, but he went round 3 here. He goes in 4 a lot, and he goes in 5 on more than an occasion. But the sum total of all that going on, it's got him like at the top of round 4. He should be going mid 4 to top of 5, which is phenomenal value. You just gotta let it happen, though. You gotta let it happen. You gotta let him fall. That this 3rd round drafting of him is just way too high. Hold on, let me make a draft selection here. Denny, who am I going with here? Am I going with Mingo? Am I going with Darnell Mooney? Am I taking Rashee Rice, the rookie for KC?
Juju. He'll get targeted.
No.
No, you know what?
I'm going to go Rashee Rice.
I like Mooney. I don't know why.
Yeah, I do. I
just
was
like
going to
Mooney,
go
man.
Mooney. I was going to go Mooney.
It was bad. It was bad.
Is Denny still here?
What, sweetie? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm right here, sweetie. What do you need?
It's Grant. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Are you
Stu.
as high on Jordan Love as Smitty is?
No, I guarantee. Because if he's high on him at all, then he's definitely higher than me. Are you trying to get me and Smitty in a fight here, Grant?
No. This was me and Smitty's debate yesterday. Was he just thought Jordan Love was the next, Brett Favre. He already has his Jets and Vikings jersey.
I think you're putting words in my mouth there, Grant. I think you're putting words in my mouth.
Oh man, Grant. He's making me laugh, Smitty. Don't put words in my mouth. Oh man.
Yeah, take the laundry out of your mouth, Grant, because but the fact that you don't like Jordan Love makes me scratch my head more than if I did say such a thing that I did say about Brett Favre. But Jordan Love is a top 8 to 12 quarterback. He's a top 8 to 12 quarterback.
Grant, what do you have to say about that? Like, where's he on your map, Grant?
8.
Where's Love?
Advantage or quarterback performance?
No, I mean, as a
Then he's asking you.
As an owner of a dynasty team.
Oh, as a dynasty team, 8 to 12?
Yeah, this is a fantasy football show. My bad. What are we doing? This is the View?
No.
Is this the baseball network? What are we talking about?
Jesus, here we go. Your guys are always going to use that against me. Look, I think I'm just not so far on Jordan Love, rather.
Okay, well, you will be. You will be. Just keep watching. Keep watching. No one's saying he's up there with the Hurtses and all those guys.
Are you a Trey Lance?
I think Trey Lance was ruined. He's destroyed. He's cooked. He's done. He's toast. Shanahan destroyed him. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot. He had a lot.
I didn't know you knew that. I didn't know you felt that way.
Yeah, he had a lot of.
Is that what you really feel about Trey Lance?
I think he's done. Unless they trade him away or something, he's toast. His confidence is shot. He had a lot of talent. Shanahan completely destroyed him. You don't put a quarterback in there, and as a rookie, he wins a Houston Texan game, and you should have started him all year anyway, and you didn't. You put in Jimmy Garoppolo, and then he goes out there and wins a playoff implication game. Looks really good. He looked good in that Texan game, and Shanahan completely destroyed him. Just destroyed him. He's worth nothing at this point. He looks timid. He looks worse than he's ever looked. He doesn't even look as good as he looked as a rookie. And that's
he looked good as a rookie in my mind. If I was a scout, I would have loved him. But so Purdy, I guess, is the guy over there.
Yeah, for now he is. We'll see. He's been throwing interceptions like crazy in practice and camp, and granted he's going up against his own defense, which is a good defense, but he's been doing it in practices and joint practices against other defenses, the Raiders. So Purdy's been throwing interceptions left and right. He's got I don't want to say experimental UCL recovery because it has been done before, but we have very little cases in the NFL of quarterbacks coming in with his particular UCL surgery that he had, which was not a Tommy John, which would have made his arm stronger than before, but it takes the full year and he would have missed a lot of the season. Instead, they went with the alternative method, which is more of a bridge of the UCL. And now we just don't know what that's going to look like. We don't know how long it holds up. We don't have a true tested career that's been played on it. So for me, I think the Niners are just going to be the quarterback short type of situation this year again. It's just nonstop. I mean, the only answer was to go get Lamar. Lamar was there for everybody in the league to go grab. You just had to pay the price. Now, the Niners didn't have a first-round pick, so they couldn't partake in the early situation, but they most certainly could have after the NFL draft and offered up a fat contract on top of an offer sheet on top of surrendering draft picks, and they could have got him in there and won a Super Bowl. But no, it's just this constant let's settle for mediocrity at quarterback, and let's mismanage all of it over and over and over. Trey Lance is cooked. I have no confidence he will ever rebound and be good, and he had a lot of potential, but it's all gone. There's a lot of players that come and go in the NFL that have that kind of potential, and it happens all the time. It happens all the time. If people don't think Johnny Manziel was talented, like players come into the NFL and they just completely suck. Sometimes they don't develop. Sometimes their talent doesn't translate. Sometimes they flush it all down the toilet. A lot of times it happens to quarterbacks. So,
how did they make it that far? That team must be so good in my mind, Smitty, right?
The Niners are deep, bro. The Niners are deep.
Who was their quarterback in the playoffs, man? I think whatever they're doing besides their quarterback. Oh,
Danny.
Man. Look out for those guys,
hey,
man.
hang tight real quick. Hang tight. I got to get these super chats. Eckler, Chubb, DJ Moore, Herbert. Nice job again, Logan, with that team so far. Christopher dropping a super chat says, if you have the number 2 spot, I think I already answered that one. Yeah, I definitely would put all my eggs in one basket with certain players and not with others. Would I do that with CMC? No. Would I do that with Bijan? Yes. Would I try and vary it up with a Kelsey move, a Chase, a JJ, a Bijan, and a CMC? Yes, I think that's a smart strategy because I do not mind all those players. Danny, thank you for your super chats. Danny dropping super chats here. Scotty Dew from Hawaii. Prayers up for everybody in Hawaii. Hall is 30th overall on Yahoo, not in round 4 and 5. That's part of the problem. But keep in mind, Scotty, that's his ADP rank. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't updated it, Scotty. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're getting such a discrepancy. Yeah. People are saying, "Oh no, Breece Hall isn't moving ADP like you said, Smitty." Where we have a report here from Grant where he's going in the 80s. I don't know how the hell Grant let that happen, but he did, and he went in the 80s. He still got him. He got really lucky and got him, but the 80s, he went in the 3rd round here. He's talking about 30 overall on Yahoo because they haven't updated their rankings, Scotty. So it's a mess right now. And you know what happens, Scotty? People still draft them at 30 overall because the suggested rank is very powerful and it tells people what to do and people listen. And the deeper you get into a draft, the more people resort to the suggested rank. And you could answer this question for yourself because you got to admit, when you don't know what to do, you're not digging down deep a lot of the time. You do scroll to the top and you go, and you're like, okay, of the 10 guys sitting here in plain sight, which one should I take? And part of that's smart because why go 15, 20 spots down when you'll get that guy at your next pick? So you do kind of sift through the top 10 to 12 suggested players because those are the most likely guys going to go in the next 10, 12, 15 picks. And so you kind of try and make sense of it and say, is there a guy in here that I like a lot that I can take a little early, I guess, if I have to, but not go too far down. And then when I get to my next pick, the guy I really want right here that I don't want to take too early, I'll get in that slot. So that's kind of how the ADP rank psychologically messes with people. And so Scotty on Yahoo, 30 overall, it's telling people to continue to draft him. And that's why we don't do mock drafts that much anymore. Like I wish we could do it, but the data's garbage. Because it's bad ADP being piled onto bad ADP. And the ballers, the real sharks, the people that are very good at drafting are no longer even a part of the mock draft community. They're all doing real drafts. Why on earth would I want to go do a mock draft? I know some of you can't play this, which is why I try and support that as well, and I will. I'll continue to do that. But why on earth would a really good drafter go do a pretend draft when they can do a $3 or $5 draft every single time and have a chance at big money? That's why the mock draft community is no longer even around, and that's why the data is even worse than normal. And where people are still mock drafting, like on Yahoo, Scotty, when the mock draft application or the platform doesn't update the ADP, and then they continue to make people draft Breece Hall that don't know what they're doing because they see him floating at the top and they just continue to draft him. Then they bail after 4 rounds, or some kid does a mock draft and he just wants to take the first pick over and over and over and bail in the league, and then Breece Hall just keeps getting auto-picked right at 30 overall. It's bad data on top of bad data, and that's why I don't use sleeper ADP. I don't use anybody's ADP but Underdog Fantasies, because people pay good money for every single draft, so no one's leaving a draft. It's good data. Even if the data is a little different than redraft, like best ball, I get that a lot, Smitty, but best ball is a little different. The amount of discrepancies in, let's say, Sleeper or Yahoo is so much greater than what the difference is between best ball, good best ball data, and where you should be drafting these guys in redraft non-best ball. The discrepancy is so much lesser that if you just use that excuse, you're using shitty ADP data that might feel to you like it's fitting you better because it was not comprised and compiled of best ball data. It's not better. You're better off going to clear, good, concise, accurate ADP data than to go to a platform that seems like it's going to give you the better answer, but it's not.
Respectfully, Yahoo is probably the worst app. Use ESPN, Sleeper, or Underdog. I would get off Yahoo. Just
they're all not great though right now. I like Sleeper's
Yahoo's
platform a
pretty
lot.
bad.
I like Sleeper's platform a lot. I like ESPN a lot to draft on. Yahoo's even kind of fun to play on. I do feel like it can be, but the data's all so bad. In my opinion.
ESPN's the main one for people. Like, I'd say mostly. And Sleeper update is amazing. The Sleeper update, I love Sleeper and ESPN.
One more. All right.
Denny, what are you saying there, Denny?
One more.
What are you
Just
saying?
taking my last call, Smitty. There's one more Jim B in the gym this week.
What?
Can I give Scotty a nickname?
Sure.
Scotty Too Hotty.
Scotty Too High?
Is that cool? Scotty Too Hotty. It's the best nickname you'll ever
Scotty
get.
Too Hotty? Okay.
Scotty Too Hotty.
All right. Hold on a second. I got to get through these super chats. Okay. What are your thoughts on Rachaad White? We talked about that a minute ago. I like him a lot. His skill set's amazing. There's a reason he was a Moon Man last year. I put him on the Moon Man list. Clearly, I love the guy, and he was a nice little gem. But this year, I just don't know that I want to pay the price tag. But if you could get him at a reasonable price that's way, way beyond his ADP, then I'm all for it. But I don't know that I'm drafting him where his ADP is currently. I can't take him as like my 5th drafted player. I like guys like Kamara and Pacheco and Swift more than Rachaad White. But I do like Rachaad White like after those guys are gone. The problem is he sometimes goes before some of those guys, and so I never end up being able to draft him. Don with the $2 holler says Denny shouldn't ever take vacations from the show. That's from Don. I'm sure Denny appreciates that sentiment. Jared says, which trade do I take Lamar for Deshaun Watson, Breece, or Lamar and Dalvin? So Lamar for Deshaun and Breece, or for Lamar and Dalvin? Or I'm sorry, Lamar for Deshaun and Breece, or Dalvin. I'm sorry, Lamar and Dalvin for Kirk, Olave, Charbonnet. Got offered Deshaun and Breece. I mean, I don't want Christian Kirk, Olave. Man, this is that one we talked about earlier. I don't know. That one's tough, man, because I mean you're taking a hit at quarterback, but you're getting Olave. So if you're trading Lamar for Olave, Kirk, and Charbonnet, you almost have to take that because Christian Kirk could hang with Lamar. I'm not saying it's a sexy pick. I'm not saying it's a pick that you wanna necessarily draft that way. But maybe you can also trade Kirk and get into a Trevor Lawrence or something like that pretty easily. Maybe you go to the Walker owner unless you have Walker. I don't know. Kirk, Olave, and Charbonnet would be hard to pass on for Lamar Jackson. Even though I do like Lamar Jackson, but that would be a tough trade to ignore. Denny, do you agree or disagree with that? Did you even hear it, Denny? All right, good talk, Denny. Thank you for the this one here from Johnny. Johnny says Breece Hall will share touches with proven workhorse Calvin Cook, though. He really is a shock to some people that are treading lightly on the pick. Johnny wants to know. I mean, but that's the whole thing. Is Johnny, what we're talking about is Breece Hall, when you package in that risk, which I believe is a risk early on, not a risk long term. This is Breece Hall's team. The team even told him that. I have it on good authority from multiple sources close to the situation, on top of reports that back that up. That's when I feel good about something I hear from a source said type of situation, is when you start hearing like Rappaport and Schefter and other people, and they even retweeting people that say it. So they're obviously kind of vouching for it when they retweet and kind of give them that like side approval of a retweet that suggests that they told Dalvin Cook, you are here to support Breece Hall, and we will use you a ton, especially early on, but you are here to support Breece Hall. And that's one reason why he didn't sign and kind of left. Now, granted, there's some numbers to work out as well, but he didn't necessarily like the fact that the job wasn't open to him. Like, he could take the job. And so this right here, I understand the feeling people have about maybe Cook takes over and Hall never gets a hold of the reins, but that's not the case. Breece Hall is a top 5 overall running back. It's going to take him a little bit of time to get where he needs to get, especially with the signing, because now they can play as slow as they want. But the thing that people need to realize is Dalvin Cook can't even practice. Dalvin Cook is hurt, and he's recovering. He's recovering from a shoulder surgery. Can't even practice until next week. Like, Dalvin Cook's the one that is more, in a sense, injured than Breece Hall. Breece Hall's out on the field in drills, full go, running footballs between the gaps, and yeah, they're not tackling yet or hitting, but he's out there practicing, and everybody keeps saying things about Dalvin Cook, and it's just because it's new and it's incoming, and the blow is getting taken by Breece Hall right in the gut, but everybody doesn't see the negative part on the Dalvin Cook side. He's injured right now. He can't even practice until next week, and everybody keeps talking about Dalvin Cook. Like, it's gonna take some work away from Breece initially, but Breece Hall should be falling respectively into round 4 from round 3, but the overreaction appears to have him in 5. His real ADP, if I had to guess, is going to settle around round 5. That's how I feel it will shake out at the end of the day. But the problem is everybody's draft is different. Every ADP is not getting updated versus that getting updated. And we have just a big mess on our hands. Just an absolute just mess on our hands. Well, I got a draft. Hold on. I timed out. Who did I get? Mechie. Okay, that's not bad. So I understand Johnny's saying this. He's Breece Hall will share touches with workhorse Calvin Cook. Is it really a shock that some people are treading lightly? That I understand your comment. I'm not shocked about that. I think you're mistaking what I'm saying. I'm shocked that he's falling to 5. That's what I'm shocked about, and I'm more shocked that Grant let him fall into 6. Didn't do anything. Let him fall into 7. Didn't do anything. And waited until round 8 and then grabbed him. What?
I said, I'm getting cooked right now.
Well, I'm just saying, like that. I'm more so, look, the reason I'm cooking you, Grant, is to kind of maybe passionately hammer home my point that Breece Hall is a steal in round 6 and 7. Like, if he fell to round 6 and 7, you should thank your lucky stars.
And that's how good of a drafter I am, Smitty. After listening to you, all the shows and everything, that's how good I am. I knew he was falling to 8. I got the Smitty intuition.
So you're admitting that you knew your league was not a good group of drafters.
I know that Smitty's got my back, right?
Okay, I got you.
As he always does.
All right.
And I knew he was going to be there at 8.
I got you. I got you. Thank you.
But someone was cooking me in the chat because someone said that I run my family's league and I pick all the players myself. That was good.
Well, I mean, yeah. All right, hold on one second. You skipped my super. I'm drafting best ball right now, pick number 12. I skipped your super. I saw Scotty do super earlier. Was there another one? Scotty Doo, you skipped my super. Hall in the 30th overall on Yahoo, not in the fourth round. I saw that one. Let me see, Scotty. Hold on. Let me look for your question. Scotty. Yeah, Scotty, that was one I read off. That was your only other super chat. You skipped my super chat, drafting best ball. So I've answered both of those. That's what triggered this whole conversation, Scotty. 30 overall. So I did answer it. You're the reason we're talking about all this. Let's go over. Actually, let me get these super chats out of the way real quick, guys, and then so hang tight on the phone line, please. So, Scotty, thank you for the super chat. Logan says, Niner fan here. We are screwed at QB. Mark my words, says Logan. And I feel bad for you because I'm not anti-Niner person. I'm not a Niner fan at all. I'm not. But I'm not an anti-Niner fan. I'm on the clock here. One second. Who am I going to take here? I could use a backup quarterback here. Man, I don't like Ritter, but as a fantasy guy, but we'll go Ritter. I hate to say this, but you guys have such a good team from top to bottom, and all you had to do was fill the quarterback spot, and you wasted 3 first-rounders on Trey Lance, and just completely burned him. Shanahan doesn't know what he's doing. He's an amazing offensive coordinator. He's an amazing offensive mind and savant. He creates great coaching trees, which is ironic given he's not good with personnel on the field and deciding, what quarterback to draft, passing on Brady, passing on Mahomes, passing on Watson, passing on Tom Brady coming in again. There's 2 different occasions where Tom Brady essentially wanted to come play football for the 49ers before he retired. If he had an opportunity to play for the Niners, I believe he would have. I believe Tom Brady totally would have, and Shanahan's ego is too big. He wouldn't allow him to come in and command that squad. I just feel like it's inevitable. I don't know. Maybe Purdy proves everybody wrong, but he's already thrown a bunch of picks. And I don't know how I feel about him. T. Higgins, keep or sell. I would try and trade him because he seems like he can sometimes have like that 2-3 round value. And I'd rather have Ridley. I'd rather have a lot of players that I think go a little bit after him. And I think there's a real opportunity to get that player in a said downgrade and try and potentially get something else included. Carlton, Tyreek or CMC, thoughts on both? I mean, look, I think, we all have our different preferences. I have Bijan ranked ahead of both of them, and very rarely will you ever be in a situation where Bijan's gone and then you have a choice between those two guys. Bijan's usually always there. I would rather take Bijan or Kelsey over CMC or Tyreek Hill this year. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't, in rare occasion, go the route of CMC or even Tyreek Hill just to get certain shares of certain players, get a couple mixed bag fantasy underdog teams out there so that I can go out and have some different looks at it. Because the last thing in the world you want to do, even though I think it's fun to put all eggs in one basket in some sense with certain players, Gibson round 3.5. If Gibbs was going, let's say at 4.1, and I had 100 drafts that I was drafting, I don't know that I could pass on him in the 4th round even one time. I think I would just make myself take him again, and I'd say, okay, I got to stop doing this. And I'd do it again, and I'd do it again, and I'd do it again over and over and over, and I don't think I could stop. I just don't think I'd have the self-control to not take Jahmyr Gibbs in round 4, anywhere in round 4 if he was there. So there are certain players I will literally let my season almost blow up on if they don't work out. Although I think I'm going to have supporting cast like Swift and Pacheco, and that I would survive. Like I would crawl to first place, like when Breece Hall went down, our 2nd/3rd drafted player, a lot of us last year. Hall went down. Walker, we stole him away. Pierce, we stole him away. Jalen Hurts, we stole Jalen Hurts away. Some of us would have dominated our leagues over and over and over, but some of us had to crawl on our elbows to first place with some moves that we made and some players we added. So ultimately, I think in a lot of these cases I'd recover, but I don't want like a top pick like Chase or a top pick like CMC. And in some cases, Bijan I want to have a certain amount of shares that are different built teams to take out. If you lose a first round guy, it's a lot harder to recover. And I would love to have variation to a degree, but I will draft Bijan in 70% of my leagues without a hesitation. I'll let 70% of my leagues burn to the ground if something happened on the chance that I'm going to have these different variations of a Bijan built team. So if Bijan's as good as I say he's going to be, I'm going to be in a real nice position having 70% of all my underdog drafts just starting it off with a bang, in terms of value. So great question. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Logan, big ups to Ron Navy. Draft Tyler Scott, says Logan. Tyler Scott is a nice little prospect, by the way. Johnny says, makes a lot of sense regarding D. Cook and Breece Hall. I'm late to school this year. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, Johnny, for dropping the double super chats. Denny dropping another super chat while he's just sitting there on the phone line. We got a $20 hauler right here, and I'm almost done with the super chats. I'll go back to the phone line real quick. Let me hit this button.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you for that super chat, Jordan. $20 hauler on screen. What a monster. This is Jordan says, rate my puppy draft from the 6 pick, Smitty. Drafted in a league beside you, so he wasn't in our draft. QB, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Ritter, Bijan, Gibbs, Swift. I love the RB room. It's phenomenal. Mitchell, Singletary, okay. Olave, London, Tony, Jameson, Nico, Mingo, Jalen Reed, Waller. I love Waller. That's a great team, bro. Lawrence, love the combination of the quarterbacks there. Bijan, Gibbs, Swift, phenomenal. The thing I'll say, though, Jordan, you're asking for my honest opinion. I would say that if you implement the same strategy and process over and over, and this is kind of where I differ with certain people. Denny's calling back in. Denny, I didn't know you fell off. Hold on one second, Denny. When you implement... I disagree with people on this. This whole you shouldn't have more than 30% ownership of a certain player. You shouldn't have overexposures. I kind of tend to think that's one approach, sure, in case like injury strikes you or whatever. But like if you were to reapply this process over and over and over right here, over and over and over. Denny, I'm trying to add you, but it's not allowing. You keep like joining and then dropping. Denny, you there?
I screwed up. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Hang tight real quick. That if you reattempt this over and over, you're probably going to get somebody to fall that shouldn't fall. And then all of a sudden you're going to have like a Christian Watson on top of all this. And then it's like, it's game over. You know what I mean? So like you're close here. This is a very, very solid approach that I think may have not landed you the best team you could draft in this situation. Maybe you missed somebody by a hair that almost fell to you. Very solid team. I love it. You did a good job. Just keep reapplying the process over and over and look for those like steals that are once in not a lifetime, but once in a month that you're going to get to fall just the right way. Would you be fine with Devontae Smith as your wide receiver 2? Absolutely. I don't love him in round 2. I love Devontae Smith, but I don't love him in round 2. But when he's your second wide receiver, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. All right, Denny, what's up, my guy?
Oh, I'll unmute. What about those Patriots?
We're gonna sell.
Zeke Elliott. Maybe I'd rather have Zeke than the other guy that was
Ramondre?
No,
I don't.
Yeah,
think,
you know what?
I don't think so, Denny.
And he's just one touch away in practice to his shoulder blowing out. Zeke, 12 touchdowns, man.
Yeah, Denny, he's getting older though. I won't say that. I'll say this, Denny. I think Zeke Elliott's more of a detriment and a blow to Ramondre's value than I think people even realize. Ramondre was not efficient in terms of like goal line touches, goal to go and goal line touches. He wasn't. He was very, very low. He was like, I want to say in the bottom, he was in the 20s. And Zeke was really efficient. Now, granted, some of that is like the plays, Zeke was overfed. He scored, a crazy amount of touchdowns. I think that you won't get that kind of efficiency out of Zeke, but I do believe that they're going to see it that way. You know what I mean? Like, fantasy football is part what we think's going to happen and part what's going to actually play out to allow what we think could happen to even have a shot of happening. You know, so if they're going to come into this situation, the Patriots and Bill is very much, I think, leaning toward like Ramondre is their number one guy, no question. But is he doghoused by Bill a little bit? From the late fumble in the season, the pitch play that had the Raiders doing a walk-off touchdown celebration because Ramondre decided not to kneel the ball down, and he started this trigger effect, this cascading, play of laterals that with no time left, the Raiders picked up the football and took it into the end zone and won the game. I always wondered if he was in the doghouse from that, and you could go back stream after stream after stream, and I always kind of mention that like in jest, but I kind of feel like maybe there is something to it, and you just got to think that Ramondre is going to be ultra efficient. He's going to be a PPR machine, but Zeke Elliott there is more of a problem than Dalvin Cook being in New York for Breece Hall. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but I disagree with it that Zeke Elliott's the guy to own. I'm just saying that Ramondre drops from round 3 to round 4, and I'm still hesitant to take Ramondre if I've got a Field sitting there. I'd rather take Justin Fields and say, let me punt running back here. I just don't feel comfortable taking Ramondre. I just don't. I just don't love him.
I totally agree on that take about that fumble incident. I actually that play. That was the worst ending to a loss as a Patriots fan. We're going to be so bad this year. Mac Jones isn't that guy. We're in the toughest division probably. So, yeah. No. Stevenson's tough to tell.
You know what, though, Avi? That Malik Cunningham is potentially a gem. Yep. And if he gets into that lineup, Malik Cunningham.
Stop it.
What?
No, he's not even gonna. No, he might be the backup. No, Malik. It was awesome. I saw it too.
What?
He's not gonna be the guy. Zappy's not the guy, dude. Mac Jones. It's Mac Jones or die. It really is.
It's
man.
not. Look, then boom. Then good night. Eyes closed, shut. Season over. If that's the case, if Mac Jones is your saving grace, you're done. But Denny, this Malik Cunningham.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate the truth. I really do.
But Denny, Malik Cunningham is potentially. Listen to the words I'm coming out of my mouth, Denny. I didn't say a lock. I didn't say he's for sure going to come out. He is potentially a gem. He is. Denny, he ran the football to the likes of Lamar Jackson in college. He was a force on the ground, and he's a slippery little guy that can get out of bad spots. And he's one of those players where the play just continues to extend, and somehow, some way he doesn't get tackled, and this guy could extend a play. I really, and I'm not saying that Patriots make the playoffs or anything crazy. I'm just saying you might have something in this kid that if you're able to see him, do some work on the ground, he keeps you close in games, gives the fan base some excitement, and he can stay healthy. I think and I don't know that Bill's going to build around him properly if he even did work out. And he's an off chance. It's not like some kind of lock. This is potentially a guy that might have something. That's all I'm saying.
Smitty, I think that a good comparison that I'm looking at too is Dorian Thompson-Robinson, right? Where these guys that can really move, Lamar Jackson-esque, but seems like a little bit better decision making with throwing the football. They're still super, raw into the league, but I like both of those guys. I was very, very impressed with both Malik and Dorian from the Browns. I was very, very impressed with those two.
Yeah, you don't seem to like Cunningham at all, Denny. I'm surprised. It's like you're a Patriots fan. I think you would be I felt like you'd be looking at the silver.
But Smitty, absolutely. I was watching the game. I love him. I love that he's going to be on the practice squad. Oh my God! ECU. He went to some. He
went to Louisville. Come on.
Listen,
Denny, come on, man.
He's shaking by. No, I love it, dude. I'm having a good time. I don't even care what college he went to. Nobody else does. But if you think that he's gonna be, he's gonna be awesome just in the practice squad for the defense. So the defense could have a guy in the practice squad that scrambles. You know, he's just gonna be a great. He's not, dude. He's not even gonna come close to Zappy. All right, and then Zappy ain't even gonna come close to Mac Jones. I hate to say it, dude. I know you don't like Mac Jones, but hey, he follow the money, man. You watch. We got Patricia's gone, dude. I know, sweetie. I know he's on his last leg. I don't hate him as much as you do, but you guys don't get all excited about Zappy and Cunningham. No, it's Mac Jones, bro.
No, it's not. Mac Jones is garbage.
Wait,
But Denny, 565 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground from Cunningham. He's a good runner. He's a really good runner, Denny. He's a really, really good running quarterback.
Sweetie.
All right.
No, Smitty. No, he's a great runner. He makes it go upfield. We see this, but are we being? Come on, Smitty. Really? Do you really think he's gonna take? He's not. He might not even make the team. Oh, yeah, that was great.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on a second. Denny, I don't know if you heard what I said. Denny, I said that he's no lock whatsoever, and that your head coach could screw this up entirely, like he's been screwing up everything as of late. So I don't know what part of what I said made anybody think that this was a lock, that it was going to happen, that it couldn't be screwed up. That you might be right. He ends up not making the team, whatever. But everything that I'm seeing, and this is the most I can get involved, Denny. They don't give me any sort of permission or decision-making power. That you have a gem potentially there, and whether anything's done about it, I can't control that. All I can tell you is I've identified using my eyeballs that Malik Cunningham has something potentially to tap into and look at. Kick the tires is all I'm saying. Will Bill kick the tires, Denny? I have no idea. This is a guy that runs double tight end sets that are Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith.
Oh, those two was
awful.
The worst thing. But now they got Gesicki, right? Now Gesicki's hurt. Did you do anything?
He's always hurt. He's always hurt. You bring in and you sign Devontae Parker and not DeAndre Hopkins. And then what do we hear when that happened? And I told everyone that signing meant that Hopkins wasn't coming. And everyone said, Smitty, the contract actually freed up money, and they're going to bring in Hopkins now. No, they waited an ample amount of time before they said, you know what, we're just going to sign Devontae Parker now. Because they waited on Hopkins. A certain amount of time went by after their meeting, and they said, we're moving on. Sign Parker, get him in the deal. That's how Bill works. It's so many people saying, I'm going to come back in your live stream when we sign Hopkins and you're going to eat your words. No, doesn't matter if you save money. Doesn't matter how the deal was structured. Get out of here with that. That signing signified they were moving on. Bill has botched every single step since Brady's left.
Agreed. I agree.
Wait, can I tell you why Mac Jones sucks and he's a bum? Out of college, he played with Devontae Smith, the best wide receiver. He has 3 offensive linemen who are first-round picks, and he played with Alabama. He looked good. He looked good out of college, but he's chubby. He can't throw the ball accuracy down the field. He's just not that guy. He's just not that guy.
It's not his fault.
Can I tell you another?
It's Patricia's fault. It's Patricia's fault.
Mac Jones
give him another year, please.
Hey,
give him another year. It's Patricia's fault. These guys are dropping passes left and right.
Denny.
Seriously, he doesn't look good in his uniform, but I'm telling you, man, just give him one more try, you guys.
Denny,
give him one more try.
Denny, you know what I don't like? You know what I don't like?
Let's put a question out there for Denny. Denny, would the 49ers win the Super Bowl, let's say last year, with Mac Jones?
Yes, 100%. Didn't you see how good? Dude, they had who was their quarterback? Jackie Johnson or something? Dude, that team was tight. Dude, 49ers was tight, bro.
Denny, Denny, there's no way. Mac Jones is not it. He's not it. You know what else bothers me about Mac Jones? When they interview Mac Jones and they talk to him, he doesn't talk like a quarterback. He doesn't have the vibe of a quarterback. And you can laugh at that all you want, but you talk to Joe Burrow, what sense do you get that this man, he commands a room? When you talk to Tom Brady, what's Tom Brady do? Commands a room, commands men. You know, these are athletes. These are guys that know what they're doing. They give off the aura of I am a leader, and if Tom Brady walked into a room and you didn't know a single thing about football, you'd probably say to yourself like that guy's got to be like the leader of the entire sports team or something. Yeah. You just know. Mac Jones looks like a ball boy. He looks like a ball boy. And when they asked him, he did an interview about how athletic he was. And when I say athletic, I mean not athletic. They said, "Can you play golf?" He goes, "I don't know how to play golf. I'm not good at golf." "Can you play this?" "I can't play that. I'm not I can't play that. I'm good at tennis though. And I like tennis. I'm just saying this guy's not even athletic. He's not athletic. He's not athletic.
Enough Mac Jones. You've had too much talk about that bum.
No. Let me finish though. On what Smitty said, I was talking to my mother, right? After they lost that game in the playoff, after a couple of losses. And I go, "Ma," "does this sound familiar to you?" And she goes, "What?" I go, "Remember when I got beat up in school and I came home and I was like, he took my lunch money, and then he took my milk, and then he stole my bike, and
All right, Denny. Hang tight, Denny.
I gotta
move on. Like, actually, you know what? I got a lot of people on the phone line, and I'm sorry I got to kick a lot of you off. Denny, go on mute. Denny gets he's grandfathered in, but just Denny, go on mute. Avi, give me your final thoughts. Then I'm gonna say goodbye to Grant, or is Grant already gone? I think Grant's there. Avi, final thoughts.
No, I'm here. I'll talk to you later, Smitty.
Is this Grant?
No, I'm gonna stay on.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, Grant. Appreciate you, and call in anytime. All right.
Of course.
All right, later. Avi, final thoughts.
Do I gotta go? I'll just stay on mute. I don't need to talk. Are you wrapping it up now?
Well, in a little bit. Okay, go ahead, Avi. Stay on mute.
All right.
Mystic, you're live.
Justin Fields, Jahmyr Gibbs, Calvin Ridley. Go get those 3 boys.
All right, Mystic, you're live. Later, Avi. Go ahead, Mystic.
All right. How you doing today, Smitty?
I don't know.
Well, I've updated my team a little bit. I remember last week I told you I traded Josh Allen and James Conner for Justin Fields and Travis Etienne.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
I traded I traded Josh Allen and James Conner for Justin Fields and Travis Etienne.
Okay. Yeah. Love that. James Conner. And then you get Etienne over Conner. You just got to swap even Steven quarterbacks. Absolutely love it.
And then I also traded Travis Etienne for Bryce Young and a 24 first.
Travis Etienne and Bryce Young for a 2024 first.
No, Travis Etienne for Bryce Young and a 24 first.
Superflex?
Yes.
Who are your quarterbacks?
Justin Fields and Deshaun Watson.
No, I wouldn't have done that because you don't need you don't necessarily. I mean, it's always nice to have 3 quarterbacks, but I wouldn't have got rid of Etienne. I guess it depends on if that first rounder ends up being like Marvin Harrison Jr. or the number 1 running back. Then I would probably swing back in that direction. Yeah. But I mean,
I'm not done. There's a process here. Okay. I'm getting to it.
All right.
Then I traded. I traded Kenny Pickett for Kenneth Walker straight up.
That was a smash.
And then I traded away Deshaun Watson for Daniel Jones and Zach Charbonnet.
I don't know if that was good value there. As much as I want you to have Charbonnet, look, ultimately you did good. Like sum total, you smashed on the entire process or whatever. But I don't think I wouldn't have traded that ETN part. I wouldn't have done that. You didn't need it necessarily. So, and I know that led to you going down this road and that road and that road, but I would have much rather you had ETN, Kenneth Walker, You had Deshaun Watson, which I would have tried to trade Deshaun Watson, into a Trevor Lawrence, something like that. But at the end of the day, you have a good team. You did a good job. I just think that there was a couple, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, another step forward, another step back, another step forward, type of thing.
Yeah, it just sucks because some of the guys in this league don't want to do anything at all until midseason or, like, someone gets injured. So I'm working with, like, half of the league. Like, half the league's cut off and stuff, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately you did good at the end of the day. I just think I would value some of those RBs a little more, like you did Walker. You took Walker on, and I like that. But ETN I like a lot. Yeah. All right, Mystic, appreciate you. You got anything else before I boot you? Because I'm gonna probably get out of here soon.
No, that's it, man.
Hey,
you have a good night.
I appreciate you, my guy. Mars Man Rock Out. Been sitting patiently. I'm sorry, Mars Man Rock Out. What can I do for you, man?
You saw my fumbling the bag of a team.
Right here, Hurts, Deshaun Watson, Sam Howell, Gibbs, Walker, Javonte, Charbonnet, Deuce, Vaughn, Chase, London, Dotson. Very good team, Rock Out. Unbelievable squad. Very, very good team. I like that a lot. Interesting, you got such a good team by going Hurts at 24 overall. So, very impressed. I think Walker was key to you, and this is what I was saying to that other super chatter earlier when I said keep trying and repeat the process over and over, because I bet you if Rockout did this 10 times, there would be a couple times where he doesn't get like this exact team, and he's short of Walker, he's short of Drake London, and if you keep rinsing and repeating a certain process, you'll get lucky with the fall and the order of things, and then boom, you're gonna be like, holy crap, I can't believe I had that extra player. So you did good. Big Dog Stark, Tua, Tannehill, Mac Jones, not a fan of that quarterback room. Henry, JT, JK, and Taylor are 2 big avoids. Big Dog, I love Big Dog Stark. He's a good dude. He's a huge, long-time follower here. But sometimes he'll draft like the guys, like it'll be like 2 or 3 of the guys I'm like talking about staying away from, all on the same team every time we look at his team. It's like JK, Taylor. Let's see who else. Mike Williams. I mean, like I tend to like go overboard on these guys, and use your own mind. Don't think I'm saying that I'm going to be 100% right on any of this stuff, Big Dog. You trust your gut, but it just is funny. Top Dog, Ben's team. Let's look at your team, Ben. You got Lamar, Herbert, double quarterback, Eckler, Chubb, Brian Robinson, Watson, Evans, Flowers. Solid, but I'm sure you probably feel this way, and this is the way it is. You can't ever land every single team you do on Underdog. You're going to try and approach, it won't work. You tried again, it worked that time. Tried again, doesn't work. I'm sure you're not super happy with the wide receiver room. It maybe going to double QB would have worked in another. I always tell you this, don't try double QB inside our community drafts, because you need something to fall that shouldn't fall, and that's not going to happen with our community. We're too like-minded, and you're going to end up not getting any breaks. And if you go double QB, that's why I hesitated to do it. I probably would have did it if I saw Burrow, because I thought Burrow was taken. But I'm glad I didn't, and that's why I tend not to do double QB in a 1 QB with our group. And the thinking is optimal scoring. You get an amazing amount of alternate scoring, optimal scoring for you when you have double quarterbacks. But you just don't get anything to fall your way because everybody's sniping each other. But you try that outside, it works pretty well. I don't know who else was in our draft. Nice job, Rockout. Okay, Rockout, anything else?
Yeah, the only reason I went with Hurts at 2 because the best players were like Gibbs and like Hall and like some other receiver. That's the reason I went with Hurts.
Yeah. Scotty Deuce says Denny must be drunk again. Sounds like it, Zeke. Denny, what do you have to say to Scotty Dew in Hawaii from his comment right there?
Scotty, I hope you're in Maui, first of all.
Jeez, Denny.
Oh, that's bad. I was trying to call a guy Scotty too hardy. No, somebody said
Maui's the island we're worried about, right?
Somebody said in the chat, he said, I'm from Mass. Denny's drunk. Take it from me. Just because he's from Mass, that he's like that means he knows. I'm from Mass. Denny's drunk. Well,
I don't know what you're
just-
saying,
Oh man, that's just I don't know what.
All
it
right,
is,
hang tight,
but,
Denny.
I like. All right. I like
Denny.
Gino. I like Gino.
Denny. Denny must be okay. So thank you, Scotty, for that. Mac Jones is athletic. He ran for 70 yards and then tripped. Remember that? Remember when Mac Jones was that Danny Dimes or was that Mac Jones actually?
That was Danny Dimes.
That was Danny Dimes.
That was Danny.
Yeah,
Danny
you're
Dimes.
misremembering that one.
I liked when his line was laughing at him. That made me laugh like Paul. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I like Danny Dimes this year too. I like the Giants a lot, man. But yeah, Danny's drunk. I'm from Mass. Take it from me.
All right, Charles T. I meant Hero RB. Charles T. said, "Are you going Kelsey or Bijan in the first round?" In Hero RB is what he's trying to say. Yeah, bro, I definitely could. Hero RB. If you go Kelsey, just go like let's say. I don't know what running back I'd say falls to you though in the second round to try that. Like you could do Hero RB with Jahmyr Gibbs in the third round. If you wanted to in a way, you could go Kelsey. Let's say St. Brown fell. Or Pollard, obviously, if you could in the second round. But you go Kelsey, you go St. Brown, you go Jahmyr Gibbs, then you get back onto a court like Fields and a wide receiver track. I mean, it's possible. But Kelsey's, I'm going to have my Kelsey video tomorrow, Charles T. It's one of the best draft strategies in 2023. Get ready for it. Rock out, anything else?
Yeah. If you have some people from this community in a league, and then half of the league is going by reaching from the pre-rankings, but there's people from our community, but the other people are super reaching. What you're planning to attack if the other people reaching, but there's a couple of people from our community in a league.
Let me show you a team then that is a perfect example of what you're talking about. This is a team where I'm drafting with all of you. You are all a bunch of snipers left and right, constantly taking all the guys I like and talk about all the time, which is fine. I mean, that's why I'm here. But there is a team that I've gone completely the other direction, away from what you guys are doing in sniping, and it's a really, really good squad. So let me show you that team. It's a really interesting build, and this is not a traditional Smitty team. So this is me adjusting and adapting and not going with the flow of snipage. So I don't have a lot of Derrick Henry shares. I went ahead and took Derrick Henry in this particular draft at the 3-4 or the 2-3 turn. So my number 1 overall pick was Jamar Chase. I took him at pick 1. My number 24 overall pick was Derrick Henry. I followed that up with Devontae Smith. And I don't like him as my second drafted player, but at the 2-3 turn, it's fine. My number 48 pick was Hawkinson. My number 49 was Trevor Lawrence. Then I took Alvin Kamara and Pacheco back to back. Now, don't you think this team looks pretty well-rounded?
Yeah.
Kamara was a garbage pick.
He looks good, Denny. I don't know if you watched the preseason,
Me
but
too, Danny.
he looks amazing. He looks amazing, Denny. He doesn't look bad.
Me too, Danny. Come on.
He looks good, Denny. He looks good. Kamara's going to win leagues. Kamara's going to win leagues, and you heard it here all off-season long. You heard it here all off-season long. Kamara, he's been on the Planet Uranus men list, and I still tell you to take him every single draft. But Denny, he looked good. He looked good.
No.
Did you watch the preseason?
He's just gonna be suspended, man. He beat the bag out of that dude.
Denny, he's already got a suspension.
Here we go.
How many weeks?
But hold on. Nobody say anything. Denny, you're here applying. What? Look, Denny, you're in an analyst role right now. I have you in the forefront of this show in a very, very prominent role, and you're out here giving advice, and you haven't even been following the news.
I've been looking at Kamara for a minute, man.
Denny, how many games do you think he got?
4?
3.
How many?
3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just 3 games. Add up. What's 3 times 0, Smitty? Hey, who's the other guy? What's 3 times 0? Tough guy.
Hey.
You know?
He's gone, Denny. He's gone.
How do you feel about you know what? How do you feel about Uranus as a whole?
I mean,
no, come on, Smitty. What's 0 times 3? Come on, man. The same thing happened last year with the other boy, man. 0 times 3 is 0. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with this guy? Okay, I got 0, and then his team sucks, right? He's with New Orleans. What do you think he's gonna be bashing in 3 touchdowns every?
Hey,
you're out of your mind.
Derek Carr looks pretty good, Denny. He's got Olave. Not to mention, Denny, if you watch the preseason game, they fed him almost exclusively on an entire drive. It was all Alvin Kamara. And you watched this guy run, and he ran decisively. He ran hard. He ran with purpose. And look, he may get injured because he's an older player, and we always talk about you're 28 years old, you're 27 years old. You're like he's at that point, but he's also suspended for 3 games, so he'll have a little bit of a fresh, look at it. But I think that you got to also understand that we're playing best ball right here in front of your face, right here, Denny, and you don't have to start Alvin Kamara for those 3 games.
How many did you get off the bench?
So 3 times 0 equals nothing. In not saying 0. I mean, no impact, no negative impact in best ball because you'll have other people stepping up and you don't have to make a decision. So in best ball, all offseason long, Denny, I've said draft Kamara over and over and over. And if he plays like a monster for 8 straight games, that can win you a best ball tournament because you don't have to decide when and where to play him. It gets decided for you in best ball. Now, redraft, I could understand a little bit of the maybe avoidance, but Kamara's going to ball out, whether it's 5 games, 8 games, 10 games. Tough to say, bro. But Denny, I do appreciate your analysis. But hey,
I appreciate you, man. I was just kidding. But I meant it. But I'm kidding.
You're kidding, but you meant it. Does anybody not like this team on screen? I think it's really good. So Rockout's question was, when there's a lot of sniping going on, rather than partaking, my strategy is to go best player available. And maybe go a little different direction. And this team was pretty good. This team I felt really strong about. It's a nice variant from different strategies that I deploy normally. So Trevor Lawrence, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Pacheco, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Hawkinson. I'd love it even more if this was a weekly team because then I wouldn't have to worry about Kamara, playing all year. I wouldn't have to worry about Pacheco getting hurt or whatever anybody's going to say about that. Derrick Henry getting hurt. It'd be a really, really good weekly team. I like the squad, though. Let's go. James from New York. You're live. I'll give you a little bit of time here, but then I got to wrap it up.
Oh, yo, what's up, bud? Been waiting for a little while. No big deal. How are you?
Sorry, bro. I'm good, bro.
Excellent. Okay. I just wanted to comment on 2 things. One, how can I even say this? The idea of uniqueness in best ball, okay? The concept of not drafting X percentage of any certain player in case they get hurt or whatever, you know what I mean? I think if you as an analyst, to whatever degree you're an analyst, are able to identify some value, then it doesn't matter how much of that player you have. If you think that a player is being underdrafted or undervalued, then you should probably be overweight on that guy. You know what I mean? Right. We're going to use Christian Watson as an example because he's a great example. Christian Watson was wide receiver 7, I believe, for the last 6 weeks of the year. Christian Watson finished number 1 in fantasy points per game versus man coverage among all wide receivers, even though he was hurt for 7 or 8 games. He's 6'4", 215, runs a 4.2 40. He's the Packers' only real chance of winning any games. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think he's super underrated,
Absolutely.
Where he's being drafted. He's in underdog leagues. He's being taken in like the 4th round.
That's why he's a moon man.
And he could be a top 5, 6 wide receiver.
For sure.
So you should be smashing Christian Watson. if that's how you feel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's what it really comes down to. I get so tired of these Excel Erics that come in here and tell me how to do best ball. They're telling me how to do best ball. I'm not saying that anybody has to do it my way either. I'm not saying I'm telling you how to do best ball or you how to do best ball or you how to do best ball. Everybody should draft to their strength, number one. Like, if I love a certain, like, wide receiver approach, I take that back. I do tell people what to do. Best player available. That's the one thing where I do say to people, you need to do this. But best player available opens the door to every single strategy that exists. So therefore, I'm not going to tell somebody what to do after that point. I'm only going to get you to the door, and you go through the first door, and then there's 15 doors to choose from for yourself. But here's the part that drives me nuts about these best ball expert players that think they've got everything just figured out about best ball is the oversaturation, argument. So let's say you have all these are teams, okay? Or let's use squares because I'm going to put check marks in here. So here are all these teams you have on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, by the way. Hit that link in the live chat if you want to draft with us tomorrow night. You want to make sure you're signed up in advance. That link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of every video. Underdog will give you up to $100 bonus match, dollar for dollar on your first deposit. So if you deposit 50 and you're new, they'll give you 50. If you do 100, they'll give you 100. And that link is in the description of every video. So real quickly, so you have all of these drafts on Underdog, bro. Like, I don't know if you can see my marker board or the screen.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So here's all your teams.
I have like 4K in volume on Underdog.
Okay. So
I do this. I have like 93 BBMs.
Yeah.
I maxed the Dalmatian 1 and 2. I have a bunch of Mastiffs. I have a bunch of big dogs.
So here's my thinking. Okay. So here's all these teams you have everywhere, right? So the Excel Eric is coming into my chat and telling me how to do my job and how to draft, and he knows everything because he's listened to another show that told him. And so he has these different teams. Now, a lot of these teams, if let's say a certain prediction, let's use Christian Watson, does well, boom, he gets a bunch of these to light up as competitive teams. Not a bunch, but a couple. He's got 30% ownership of Christian Watson. I'm going to keep it at 30% because you should never own more than 30% of any player. So Christian Watson lands, and look, the board gets lit up. Okay. But not much. He gets 30% the board of Christian Watson helping these teams become feasible teams to win money in the tournaments. Okay, now let's say I go Christian Watson in a majority of my leagues and I miss it. That means that the X is going to light up the board potentially for, okay, this guy's behind on all of these teams. Okay, boom, 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 boom. That's a bad thing, sure. And that's just the risk you take of saying, I'm going to brute force try and win this thing. And if you get an injury that takes out a bunch of your teams, so be it. Like, it's a strategy. But if I land Christian Watson and I've got him on 70% of these teams and he becomes a top 5 wide receiver, guess what happens? The board lights up all over the place for me. 70% of these teams are now in play for being a team that's going to be in the mix to win. Now, granted, I got to get a lot of other things to keep those check marks and the board lit up, but I'm very much of the thinking of I'd much rather have a bunch of variants of what I believe to be true because I'm betting on myself. I'm not betting on a percentage chance of a lot of people say if you own Jamar Chase and not Burrow, you'll never beat a team that has Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Stupid. That's a stupid way to look at it, because who in the hell says that if you own Jamar Chase and not Burrow, and the guy that owns Jamar Chase and Burrow next to you has this huge advantage over you, you could have Hurts, and Hurts could be better than Joe Burrow in all 3 of the playoff games. It's just a stupid thinking to say you have to do this, you have to do that. All I'm saying is, if you believe in yourself.
I want to add something onto the thought you're building. Okay.
Yeah. Call him stupid again, Smitty. He is stupid.
Let's say Christian Watson. All right. Yeah. Let's say Christian Watson hits. Okay, on the majority of these lineups. Looking at these boxes you have on the screen, I want you to keep in mind that most lineups won't have combinations of like Christian Watson and Justin Jefferson,
right? Or
Christian Watson and Jamar Chase. Of all these boxes on the screen, maybe
hold
one
on.
or two of them will have a combination of like Watson and Chase or Watson and JJ. Watson and JJ in particular because
Christian Watson.
Denny. First of all, Denny thinks you're like.
Tell him to mute himself. Tell him to mute himself.
Hey,
please.
Denny.
Grown folks are talking.
Christian Watson.
Please tell him to mute himself.
Denny.
Okay, Christian Watson.
Denny,
I'm
hold
sorry,
on.
Christian.
Hold on a second, Denny. First of all, Denny, listen. I've hung up on you. I haven't hung up on you on a while, Denny.
Okay, should I drink some Watson or some water?
Denny, have a Dasani.
Say Watson one more time.
Let me finish what I was saying, bro. Let me finish what I was saying.
Can both you hold on?
When you sober up, let me finish what I was saying, please.
Can you guys both be quiet for 1
cool with
second,
that?
please? Hold on. Both of you Denny, first of all, Denny's under the misunderstanding that you are like going at me for something. And so Denny's in a protective mode. Denny's like a bulldog. He thinks he's protecting me right now. But Denny, this guy and I are on the same page. And I know you were saying that. What are you saying?
Thank you, Smith.
So hold on, Denny. This is a friend of mine's a friend of yours. Okay, so hang tight.
All right.
Go ahead.
Bye.
All right, hang tight, Denny. Go ahead,
May
James.
I finish my thought?
Go ahead.
Okay, here's what I was saying. Among all of these boxes that you have on this screen, thank you, Denny. Listen, he's 7 years old mentally. It's not his fault. I mean, I forgive you, Denny. I'm going to try to continue one more time. All right. Among all of these boxes you have on the screen, okay, maybe two of them will have a combination of Justin Jefferson and Christian Watson. Because in best ball, you have to do something crazy to get that combination. All right. Now, that combination in particular is on my mind because it's the last game on the Week 17 schedule.
Right.
And it can determine a whole lot of fantasy championships. So having access to the top Green Bay and the top Minnesota wide receiver in the last game of the fantasy championships in a dome game that has divisional upside, okay,
right,
like could matter. You know what I mean?
So
taking a guy that you think is undervalued, like Christian Watson, in a non-traditional draft position, could lead to some very unique combinations that could pay off hugely. That's all I wanted to say.
I hear you. And again, the other thing that I want to add is that this whole notion of protecting yourself. Don't draft over 30%. I'm scared to death of drafting. Look, I've got confidence in myself, as should every one of you, that we're going to hit the hell out of a lot of these picks. And maybe we miss on some. I don't think it necessarily takes us out. My whole goal is to land as many things as possible, obviously. But in doing that, if I do it in an oversaturated fashion, I call it brute force drafting, you're gonna have a bad year from time to time, and that's fine. But I'd much rather have a bad year in terms of, like, let's say all these underdog drafts. If I got hit with like last year, Breece Hall went down. That took a lot of blows to my underdog teams. And that's going to happen, but it doesn't scare me away from anything. I'm like Brett Favre. I'll go throw an interception. I'll go out there, throw another interception. I'll go out there and throw 4 touchdowns in a row. That's the way my mentality is with this. But what I would rather have is the year that I do land a majority of what I'm talking about, I have all of these shots of winning big money versus a section of 30% that can win big money. I'd rather have my year go near perfect.
Because you had conviction in your own research and your own processes. You know what I mean? That's because you successfully identified guys. And if that's the case, there's no cap on their ownership value. That's all I wanted to say.
James, anything else before you leave? And Denny, did you want to say anything to James before he heads out? Because maybe karate in the garage. He hung up. Oh no, Denny hung up.
Yeah, I hope he's drinking some water, man.
Why did Denny?
I love Denny. You know
I think Denny might be mad at me now.
Come on, bro.
I think Denny might be mad at me.
365 days a year of this shit,
All right.
That's all, man. I love you. Love all the viewers.
All right,
Just wanted to provide another angle.
Yeah, appreciate it, James. See you later.
Of course, bud.
All right, Denny, call back in. Call back in, Denny. We can't end it like that. I think Denny took it a little hard. Denny took it a little hard. Breece Hall is 8 foot tall, if anybody didn't know. Denny, call back in. I got to wait for Denny before. Denny, I'm not leaving until you call back in. I'm not leaving until you call back in. If you hit 50% of your picks, that's a decent year, says Nathan. That's the whole goal for me, is to brute force win this bad boy. Denny. I'm waiting. Denny. Let's see how long it takes Denny to call in. Denny. Come home, Denny. Come home, Denny. The Denny timer. Denny had to go find another. Okay, Denny, call back in. Let me see if I have any other super chats. Then I'm out of here. I appreciate you all. Oren, you still here, bro? I'm sorry about the delay on this one. Superflex trade Love and Tua for Allen. Tua is my one, no QB4. Okay. So Love and Tua for Allen. I take Allen in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, Oren. In a heartbeat.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay. Appreciate you. I guess Denny left. I don't know why Denny got that mad at me. Maybe he's okay, but all I said was this guy's a friend of ours, you know. And Denny was out there. He was like a bulldog, though. He was going at the guy. He thought the guy was going at me, so Denny was barking back. And thank you, Oren. Appreciate your super chat. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. T. Law is your QB1. Okay, so you have T. Law and Josh Allen. So T. Law would become your QB2. Then even more so. Even more so. The timer is kind of going a little nuts. Let me pause it. I think we just need to make it wider. It is going a little crazy. Is there a way to maybe milliseconds? There it is. There we go. Denny is on his way to Circa. Denny, I'm waiting for you. Come on, bro. Where are you at, Denny? There he is. Denny, super chat, $2. He's okay. He's okay. Denny's okay. I didn't know if he... Call in, Denny. Call in. Come home, Denny. Come home, Denny. I'm sorry, Denny. Let's do one more minute of Denny talk real quick. I don't think he's calling in. Denny, appreciate your super chat. We'll see you all later. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing the Kelsey video. Peace out. 175 of you in here, only 98 thumbs up. What in the heck is going on there? Can we please, everybody, hit that thumb up button on the way out the door? Denny says Christian Watson. Oh, Denny. I'll see you all tomorrow. Travis Kelsey video tomorrow. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you all tomorrow. Live whenever news breaks. Live 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Deuces. Hit that thumb up button. 170 of you still in here. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you're new, please. It's weird. A lot of people don't, for some reason, they don't necessarily subscribe. You'd think everybody would to get the notifications and to support the channel, but there's always a large percentage of people that are watching that aren't subscribed. So please make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. It goes so far as to helping this channel grow. We're at 20K. We'll be at 21K before you know it. So please help support this channel that way. and spread the word and hit that like button and comment. I try and get back to every comment. I commented a lot last night. I got through about an hour and a half, 2 hours of comments. So please comment after the video's over. I always try and do my best to get to the most recent comments. We'll see you all tomorrow.
The double-decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2. The double-decker. A top 5 wide receiver hides among the people. His cost of entry is near illegal. Few see him coming. Many stay away. His name is Chris Olave.
The Four Horsemen, drafting Chase in round 1, Hall in 2, Burrow in 3, London in 4, try Gibbs in 3, Burrow in 4, Wilson in 2, no problem. Combinations of these monsters will give your league mates nightmares, especially Bijan 1, Olave 2, Burrow 3, and Gibbs 4. Don't lie. You just made an oopsie in your pants, didn't you? Ride for horses at the same time, the Four Horsemen.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.